Hello, I am Tamara Lechner, and I am so glad that you have decided to join me on the happiness trajectory. Now, you may have heard people talk about happiness is a way to journey and not a destination. So, what am I talking about? The trajectory. What I'm talking about is that when we focus our mind on something in a very specific way, like this is the week I get happier, or this is the week I'm going to eat better, we actually set into place a mindset that helps and supports us. So I'm hoping that this week we can together raise our baseline happiness and make the world a little happier. Pretty big goal, right? So that's where we begin. I want to discuss briefly a little bit of science about happiness. Some people ask me if everybody has the same ability to be happy. We know some people are born genetically more likely to be anxious and depressed. They also might have parents who have a mindset that is anxious and depressed, and so they also learn about thought patterns that don't serve them. The really great thing is that 40% of our happiness is genetic. 10% is set by things like if we have enough food and shelter and we're not scared for our lives. So there's 50% left after that, and that 50% is impacted by our habits, our thought patterns, and the way we live our life. So you may recognize that the way you've been thinking perhaps isn't serving you. It's maybe not helping you to be the happiest version of yourself. Great news, that's what this week is for. I have 7 science-backed habits that you need to form in your life in order to boost your baseline happiness and actually have the ability to be a happier person. This doesn't mean that you're going to have little moments of being happier. It means that your underlying mood will be elevated and hopefully stay that way if you practice these 7 things. So let's get started. Today, our happiness habit is to cultivate a sense of purpose. People who have a sense of purpose, and that means meaning in life, that you are here for something and you have something important to do, are happier, healthier. They have better immune systems. They have stronger relationships. They're more resilient when things go wrong. And overall, they are more optimistic. So who doesn't want to have a sense of purpose? Now, the problem with purpose is it can seem like a really big thing. If you ask somebody what the meaning of life is or why they are here, it can seem a little bit difficult to answer that question. What I hope we are going to do is break down purpose into simpler steps, like thinking about what was my purpose when I got up this morning. Might have just been to get up on time and get the kids out of the house. What was my purpose in grocery shopping? To choose healthy foods to fuel my body. What was my purpose when I went to the gym? I wanted to look and feel healthier. So really starting to know the purpose behind our everyday little actions helps us to recognize patterns and to notice that, okay, I seem to have a feeling that all of these things align with X, Y, or Z, and it may give you an idea, a hint of what that bigger purpose might be. But don't worry if you get stuck there. I'm going to give you some reading, some worksheets, some links of things to watch, to listen to, and even some suggestions of meditations if you want to try meditating. All of these tools are yours to choose. Choose the ones that speak to you. Some people like to journal. Some people would rather watch a video. You don't need to do them all. You want to choose the ones that sound interesting to you and you know you're going to do them. Why? Because the most important thing is that you show up and give it a shot. So, purpose. Here's a quote I love about purpose from Oswald Spengler. This is our purpose, to make as meaning as possible this life that has been bestowed upon us, to live in a way that we may be proud of ourselves, to act in such a way that some part of us lives on. So one question I ask myself when I'm thinking about purpose is, what do I hope people say about me when I'm gone? So I'm going to leave you to reflect on that. And thanks again for joining me. Now, if you took the habit formation tendency typing test on Gretchen Rubin's website, you may now know if you are an upholder, if you are a rebel, if you are someone who is a questioner, or I forget what the fourth one is. Upholder, rebel, questioner, and obliger. There we go. So what does this mean for you? If you're an obliger, you're probably going to want accountability in forming these habits. So obligers, meet me on the Facebook page, write down what you're doing, talk to one another, get an accountability partner. Upholders, you're going to do it. You are inwardly accountable and you'll be fine. Questioners, if you need research, there's going to be a lot of scientific research to support what we're doing, and that will answer the question of why am I doing this? And for you rebels, the best way to get involved in something like this that might feel like you're supposed to do it is by defining yourself as happier than others, defining yourself as really purposeful and meaningful, because when you start to think of yourself as that, then it's easier to take the steps to become that. So again, there will be a link below to that test if you haven't done it. And if you have no clue what I'm talking about for those tendency types, I hope you'll take a peek. Gretchen talks a lot about happiness, but what I think she's really brilliant at is habit formation. We need habit formation in order to do the things we need to do to become happier. One last thing, I promise you this will be the longest of our videos. I am someone who prefers a short tweet to a long blog. I like to use as many very good words as needed, which means hopefully few and succinct rather than being long and drawn on. So every other day this video will be much shorter. But again, today, Monday, let's think about purpose. And thank you for joining me. Your happiness is my business and I'm here to shine a light on it.